very beneficial for the students. So on this note, I just want to welcome you again. Really happy to have you here, and over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks, Roshi, and thank you, Prasida ma'am. And I thank Prabha as well. And yeah, I wish you all a very good day ahead, students. And I extend a very warm welcome to each one of you present here. And I happened to sit in a couple of sessions yesterday in your Twitch course, and I just wanted to have a feel of the event. And it's been a long time because the college atmosphere, for anyone, it's a kind of a good memory. So I wanted to have a feel of it, and I happened to listen to Abhishek, I think, one of your old students, and looking at all of the students. I remember Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba Group of Companies, and he says in one of his videos about young people. He says young people are the solutions to the problem. Young people are the solutions to worries. And if we stay with yeah, if we stay with young people, we'll always feel full of energy and youthful. I feel it's 100% true because as a policy, even in our company, we recruit freshers. We have 14 offices around India. So you can imagine the number of young people with us. So it's always good to have a lot of young people, and their energy is really contagious. And, feeling younger or older, the feel itself seems to have an effect on our health, says a psychologist from Harvard Medical School. So it's more than a state of mind, I would say. So having said that, I really envy the faculty members here because your profession allows you to, or keeps you all young at heart. So with such a positive note, it's my pleasure to be here with you all today. And I thank you again to Dr. Prabha and the HOD Management Studies and the esteemed SRM Institute of Science and Technology for the opportunity given to me to be here with you all today. So I would like to present my screen. Prabha, do I have the permission?
Yes, we have given you the permission to share your screen.
Just a moment.
Made you as a co-host, you can do that.
Right, just give me a moment. I'm sorry, it's just taking a minute. Give me a moment.
Yes. Dr. Prabha,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. She's
maybe
trying to
you can get the PPT and we can project it if she's having a difficulty from her end.
No, no, it's just asking for some preferences and
Mm.
permissions. I'm just accessing the screen. Just give me a minute.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a huge file at that. I don't think I'll be able to send it across to Prabha because of the
Okay.
file size. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, not an issue, not an issue. Please take your time.
Any help, Maithili?
No, no, it's just asking me to give the permission. So I'm just going through the options. Just,
Okay.
I will be able to fix it, I think. Just give me a minute. Just have my IT person come here to fix it. Just give me a minute. Prabha, I think I just have to leave the meeting and come back again and reconnect in a
Yeah,
minute.
yeah, yeah. Please do that. Yes. Students will wait for another 2 minutes. She'll be
Oh,
back.
sorry for the inconvenience. Just give me a minute. I'll come back and reconnect.
Yes. Thank you. No issues. Is it all right now?
Hi, I'm back again. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, clear. I'll make you again as a co-host.
Yes, please.
It's done.
Yes. Is my screen visible now?
Yes, perfect. It's visible.
I'm so sorry. I apologize to the students that I made you wait.
Are happening. No issues.
Thank you. So the topic given to me for this virtual meet is Today a Reader, Tomorrow a Leader, the Career of MBA. So I was just thinking about this topic because, as you know, all reader cannot become a leader, but every reader is definitely every reader is definitely a leader. So I'm not sure how many of you have the habit of reading, because when we were doing MBA, definitely I was not a reader at all. But times have changed, but I'm not sure still if any of you has any apprehension in reading, because reading definitely helps you in many ways, and you cannot grow into your leadership without learning from others. That is, you have to read. So to acquire new insights, you definitely have to read as much as you can on a daily basis. So I've got a couple of slides to just highlight what exactly reading can help you and why it's important. So it's definitely a mini vacation to brain, people say, because when you read, uh, it develops your problem solving skills, and it also helps you, improve your language skills, apart from the other skills that you develop out of reading. So reading books, it can be any kind of books, but just read at least one page or a couple of pages before you go to bed. That should be your aim, because as an MBA student, reading is definitely important for you, because it gives you many new ideas, and it gives you ideas to solve problem solving skills. It gives, and it improves your conversation skills as well. Just a moment. So, being in the tourism industry, I can tell you how much important is the reading is, because we have tour executives in our company. So, you know what the role of tour executives is? They go to the airport and meet the clients on a daily basis. Whoever arrives, they'll have to go and meet them, and they have to be there with them. They assist them going to the hotel, and they explain about the program, and they introduce the guides and the driver. So as soon as the client lands, you know what the first question they ask? How's the weather today? What's the climate today? And uh, what is the population? How many people are there in India? How many people are there in Tamil Nadu? What is exactly the population of your state? So these are some normal general facts that people ask. But if you're not going to read a newspaper, or if you don't have a habit of reading, I'm sure definitely you won't be able to get into any kind of conversation with strangers, because these are all very general information that we talk to when we want to start a communication with a stranger. So apart from this, for as far as destinations are concerned, reading increases your cultural knowledge as well, because if you want to explore a destination, you don't need to actually go to a destination, as you have experienced in the lockdown. So just a minute, fix it. Thank you. So when we were in lockdown, you know exactly what the condition was. So traveling was definitely a challenge. So during that time, uh, we have read many books, like to explore a destination. To It's a fantastic idea which gives a deeper understanding of cultures of different people, different community altogether. And again, it gives you it challenges your imagination, because if you happen to put yourself in the character's shoes, if you're going to read any story, so your brain goes beyond the words on the page, and you can imagine the details such as the appearances, emotions, and surroundings. So if you're reading a book, and if it's going to be a great book, definitely it should leave you with many experiences. And maybe you can even get slightly exhausted at the end while reading a great book. I remember reading Whale Pari, because I'm not sure how many of you have the habit of reading these kind of books, which talks about the history and the ancient people, how they lived, what they did exactly. It was an excellent book written by Sue Venkatesan, a Sahitya Academy Award winner. So if you get a chance, if you get an opportunity, please read that book. I'm sure you'll be able to enjoy to the core. Reading again inspires you as well, and uh, it reduces stress mainly. So if you read something you enjoy, or if you lose yourself in a good novel, it's an excellent way to relax. And that's why I said reading is like a mini vacation for your brain. So it's okay to take time away from your studies, because I know MBA is going to completely take over your life for the next 2 years, and you'll be having an intense schedule. But it's important to make time for your family and friends as well, and as for yourself to recharge. So, with these persuasive facts running through your mind, I would like to just move forward, and I will be sharing some tips with you today to how to succeed in the corporate world, and I can also share my personal experiences with you. So, moving ahead, the most sought after professional business degree, MBA. Yes, it's indeed a big step for aspiring managers, but I'm sure you may be thinking that the scope and job opportunities for MBA post COVID might see a downfall. But take my word, because it's definitely not the scenario at all. Besides world class doctors, scientists, engineers, and lawyers, the world is also in need of you, the MBA graduates. So, the scope of MBA is post COVID will definitely see a boom, as the HR professionals and recruiters are on the constant lookout for good MBA graduates. So, as you're in the first year of MBA, you need to just prepare yourself in all aspects during your course to become an eligible candidate. That's your responsibility. And moreover, the scope of an MBA in India will definitely not cease, because businesses will require MBA professionals to run and consult their respective businesses. So, but only the times are changing, because the required skill set for working in a particular industry is also changing drastically. In earlier days, there was no need for an MBA graduate to be tech savvy. But the present scenario demands this particular quality, as most of us are working from home. So when you're working from home, as you know, you need to do a lot of tasks, as how I was struggling now. So you have to have your own tech support. Like you have to assist yourself with regard to the technical things. So you might not get assistance as you would have got during pre-COVID. So you have to get well versed with webinars and online workshops to develop your new skills. However, I would say the scope of MBA is not only limited to the business domain, because as an MBA graduate, you will be welcomed with open arms to government, public, private sectors, and other prominent areas as well. Yes, this pandemic has taught us many valuable lessons, because we now have realized the value of human contact, being together with family and friends. And as students, I'm sure you know now the value of being in an on campus, and what exactly is for you in a physical classroom, and learn together as a team. So, COVID-19 has changed forever how we work, we live, and the way we interact. Let me tell you, the world around has changed forever. So especially the expectations from the organizations have changed a lot in these times of uncertainty. And businesses expect their people to be equipped with the best knowledge and skills to grow and succeed in this new normal. And take my word, the new normal is here to stay. If you want to grow into the future, if you want to thrive, then you need to learn new skills and adapt to the needs of the future. Because when I was doing my MBA, the scenario was completely different. Firstly, the B schools offering quality MBA programs were very few. We had very less choices, and obviously the competition was very high. And the communication wasn't this easy at all. We did not have mobile phones for ourselves when we were doing MBA, and this free Wi-Fi, now it just follows you wherever you go. We didn't have this kind of facility, and we didn't get high-speed internet connection at all. It was a dial-up connection, and I'm not sure even how many of you heard of this word dial-up connection, because when we want to go online, we wait for a very long time. We just have to dial up, we have to sit and wait. God only knows when exactly the connection will get established. So until you get connected, you have to have the patience to wait, because that was the condition of internet those days. We were called lucky if we get connected online in just few minutes. Now the internet is a constant part of our lives, and social media is in your fingertip. I name it and you can get it. So instant access to everything under the sky, be it quality information or data or even contacts, anything. Networking has become so easy nowadays. And when we were studying MBA, we didn't have access to free online courses, and motivational seminars were payable. We had to pay a lot of money if we have to go and attend any motivational session. And now we get everything free in one click. The YouTube channels, oh my God, there are a lot of umpty number of YouTube channels offering too many information for you. Webinars, online workshops, and the list goes on and on. So our exposure was very limited, definitely those days. But now the technology has advanced in many ways, and we possess all kinds of gadgets now, and computers are increasingly faster, more portable. And with all of these revolutions, technology has made our lives definitely easier, faster, and better. So after all these advancements in many aspects, the expectations of corporate companies have also changed a lot, and they want the MBAs to be savvy with all aspects of business and administration, because the corporates trust that an MBA graduate knows multiple aspects of business, including human resource, marketing, sales, finance, analytics, and much more. So I again say that MBA graduates are the best possible choice to run a business without the shadow of a doubt. So the decision of pursuing an MBA degree, it can be exciting as well as frightening for you at the same time. Am I right? Because on the one hand, you will be entering a world of countless opportunities, and on the other hand, you will have to overcome challenges you never know you would come your way. It would come your way. So just stay positive, because committing your time, money, and energy to the most sought after professional business degree itself is a great start. So you just have to be open to learn new things, and you have come to an environment wherein you need to learn from faculty members and your peers, which can be challenging at times because you all have come from different environment, different experiences you have. So before you start an MBA, just ensure that you're open in mind, open to learn new things, and you just look at things with different perspectives. So you have to work in a team as well. Teamwork is very essential virtue for a budding manager. So in an MBA program, you will need to work on individual assignments as well as group projects. So group dynamics reflects strongly on the success of a project. So it's very essential that you develop teamwork skills, and you also have to be aware that the mixture of students in an MBA program will be diverse, which means that they could be from, as I said earlier, various ethnicities, various walks of life, and they have different personalities altogether. So developing teamwork skills will definitely help you during the course of your MBA. And this also will help in your professional world when you come out of the college and when you join any company. So my advice here is to help each other, just be supportive to each other, create an open and cooperative atmosphere wherein you all can join together, gain more knowledge, and ultimately what you get will only what you give to others. So just try to adjust to the new environment. So you might think that doing an MBA in India is very easy, but it's very different if we pursue an MBA in a foreign country. In both cases, you will have to adjust to new situations and you will have to interact with new people, no other go. So to overcome this challenge, the best thing to do is just familiarize yourself with the new environment, talk to people, interact with them. And before your session begins, just get the feel of a student life and just check out what are all the social activities that happen in your campus, and this will help you become comfortable with your new environment, I feel. And again, when coming back to socializing and networking, these are two sides of the same coin, I would say, because you'll come across people from varied backgrounds, and the idea of socializing and networking might seem difficult to some people. But again, this is an essential part of your student life because you should not miss it out at all. And you have to socialize with your peers, as they'll be the ones who will help you get a better perspective of things. And maybe you might have to work together on different study projects. So this skill is also very important as an MBA graduate. And next is your busy schedule. I know it can be a difficult thing, and the workload is going to be very heavy for you, and your class schedule is going to be too busy, and you'll be hardly having enough time for everything you want to do. But in the middle of everything, just have to party. You have to participate in campus activities, complete assignments, and prepare presentations in time. And to cope up with the pressures of an MBA, you should develop good time management skills and organizational skills as well. There are a lot of mobile apps. I don't need to tell you about the apps because you're all you have to teach us in such a way because you know well about the mobiles and how the usage and everything. So there are a lot of mobile apps available now which can help you in organizing your schedules effectively. So enjoy the experience. And although MBA can be rigorous and competitive, it can also be extremely rewarding at the same time. So this program can offer you a wealth of advantages, especially when it's from a well-regarded institution like SRM Institute of Science and Technology. And I'm sure the Department of Management Studies there will ensure that you get adequate support to successfully complete the program. So moving ahead, when we talk about MBA, it definitely gives you, it increases your credibility because businesses think that MBAs, they have a clue as to how a business is supposed to be operated successfully. This is the kind of impression that's been created for many years. So obviously we have that kind of credibility with us as MBA graduates. So of course, the real world experience is also important, but by having an MBA, you'll definitely benefit from some degree of increased credibility altogether. I would say this MBA degree will definitely transform you and give you an experience, like a transformation experience in both professional as well as in personal life. You will be doing a lot of case studies, I know, and there are a lot of group discussions and real-time exercises as well based on the case analysis, and the role plays also that you will be doing on a daily basis. So during the course, you can definitely understand what exactly your strengths and weaknesses are and what is your leadership style that you're going to follow, etc. So I would advise you just be honest to yourself throughout the course and do a self-analysis at regular intervals to check what you're good at and where you need to improve. Because when you do this self-check, in addition to knowing where you need to improve yourself, it will also help you to understand your behavior at different situations, because this is the place, the college is the place where you can just develop your skills. When you go outside the college, there's no one for you to advise or guide you, because this is the place you can learn things and you don't need to feel shy about anything, because those are all your classmates anyways at the end of the day. So this degree will definitely deepen your technical and soft skills as well. So it's all up to you as to how you're going to make the most. Yes, I understand getting those three letters MBA after your name is not the biggest factor in your success. The biggest factor is how you're going to use those three letters. Because understand that it's not an automatic ticket to your dream. MBA is not definitely an automatic ticket to your dream job. Employers will hire you once you prove that your MBA differentiates you from the rest of the competition. That's where your skill lies in. So post MBA, you will be able to see the transformation in you, you approach problems from a new perspective, I'm sure, and it will bring you a greater sense of self-confidence as well, because going through such a rigorous program, it requires strong time management. You have to prioritize your things. You have to have people skills as well, and you will become more competitive in the job market after you graduate. But however, once you graduate, you are just getting started, I would say, because we think that once we complete MBA, we can go and land on a managerial role immediately. No, please understand the MBA is a means to an end and not the end itself. So even after getting the credentials, you still have to do a lot to remain competitive in the market. So there are now more MBA graduates than there were 10 years ago. So competition is going to be very high. And business schools, yes, they have done a great job making the MBA the most sought after professional degree program. But then employers also notice the difference between an MBA graduate and a non-MBA. So how the SRM Institute of Science and Technology MBA students are going to be different, and what you're going to do to stand out of the crowd. So that is where your skills stand. I would say in an MBA degree, your attitude makes up over 50% of your professional success, and remaining can be contributed or attributed to other skill sets that you develop. Because you take up live case studies, and you tend to discuss in your classrooms. So I would say just rather discussing about the traditional ones where you have the set of solutions, it's all set, you know what exactly the solution is going to be. Instead of that, take up a live case study and try to discuss with your classmates and see how exactly you can solve the problems of real companies right now. For that, definitely, as I said earlier, you need to read a lot of business magazines. You need to go through journals on a regular basis. You need to watch business within India as well as on a global level. So you have to be aware of the happenings in various industry. If you have to think on your feet, and you have to develop strategies that reduces the potential skills on the go, potential risks on the go. So your education won't stop once you have completed your classroom training, as I said earlier, because learning is going to be a lifelong process for an MBA, not only for MBA, for anyone for that matter. So I'm sure immediately after graduation, nobody will want to see another textbook for a while, because the field you enter will be evolving at a rapid pace, and you can only stay in the game if you can keep up the pace. So these are the qualities I feel that you can that can make you stand out of the crowd. For an MBA, technical and soft skills, it goes without saying you will be developing a lot of these skills. And coming back to the social media knowledge, to keep up with new business trends, you have to use the social media as a platform nowadays in the business world, because to execute research or to get any additional insights on individual products or to run any digital campaigns, for everything, social media offers vast market opportunities to reach worldwide audiences. So the use of social media for marketing campaigns has become very, very common in almost all companies, there's a strong demand for hiring candidates with the skill to convert online channels into effective marketing platforms. For example, in our company, I can say that we breathe social media. We receive travel inquiries through social media, and we work in such a way that we generate organic inquiries through Facebooks, blogs, and travel websites. So we are in constant need of for good content writers. I'm sure you know what a content writer's job is. So we have been looking for a quality content writers who can give us good contents for our websites, blogs, Facebook, and Twitter. But I would say this position always remains vacant in our company because um, there's always a challenge to find a good person who can understand the nature of the market, nature of the industry, and who can write accordingly. So you need to know about the career of content writer as well, because the rates they charge are as per the per word that they charge. So if they write 500 words, then we need to pay accordingly. So if you maintain quality in all the work you do, regardless of any work, if you maintain the quality in your work, then, and if you practice integrity and business ethics, then I would say sky is the only limit for your growth and earning potential. You can definitely mint money in this world. So the corporate world today is going through a transformational shift due to the emerging new technologies. So MBAs, as MBAs, you're ought to be comfortable with the emerging technologies as well, and you need to know how to manage them to be effective leaders in the future. So coming to leadership skills again, innovation is at its peak in all industries. So we cannot sustain in this competitive world if you're not uh, innovative, if you don't have a like innovative thinking. We all know that the leadership qualities do not just come from simply studying textbooks or manuals. You have to master the skill over time because it's part of a behavioral pattern that's gradually developed in people, I feel. So you should have the ability to influence and inspire others to achieve a common goal together. And at the same time, you have to be a good listener and supporter of your team too. If you want to manage a team, if you're not going to listen to what their needs are and what they have, what the problems they face, then you cannot definitely get things done by a team. So the financial forecast skills. As you know, the ultimate goal of any company is to earn substantial profits in order to sustain the business revenue. So this requires a lot of planning, and you need detailed insights, and you need to analyze the past and current conditions of the organization's financial affairs. So a deep understanding of how finance works for the business is definitely a skill. So you need to have that kind of understanding, and with accurate information on revenue streams, debts, and cash flow analysis, etc., you can definitely make the right decisions for the growth of the company. And this financial skill will help the company in developing benchmarks for future funding to support new business ventures and initiatives as well. So forecasting skill with regard to finances is indeed essential for any business. Coming to the data analysis, you all know the power of data today. So the big data analysis is being adopted all throughout the globe in order to extract those important information. So variety of enormous data is being generated at an extremely fast pace in various sectors. So analyzing big data has become highly crucial and unavoidable these days. So organizations are spending millions to organize their data so that it can be connected, analyzed, and monetized. So it's no doubt that analytical skills are one of the hardest skills to find in MBA graduates. So in recent years, data analytics has grown rapidly, and employers are increasingly aiming for new hires who are data literate. So there also you have a good opportunity. Next is the brand story selling skills. I'm sure you would have heard about this. As soon as we say stories, we often relate it to fiction or fairy tales or like that. But brand storytelling is like you use a narrative to connect the brand to the customers, and along with that you link what the company stands for, the values of your companies as well. So that's how the brand storytelling has gained momentum. So it's scientifically proven that to get a person's attention, storytelling is very, very, very important. So it's highly utilized by organizations these days to develop stronger bonds among employees internally as well as externally with customers. So to become a stronger storyteller yourself, like you need to learn the key ingredients of successful storytelling techniques. So this has also become an important part of the skill nowadays. So the education, whatever that you learn, should supplement your ability to excel in your industry. So having spoken about skills, the varied skill as to what exactly you will learn and develop, I'm not sure how you're going to fulfill the expectations of today's corporate world, because you need to secure a position for yourself amidst all this COVID crisis. If you want to start your career straight from a top position in a reputed company, then in current circumstances, I would say leadership quality to deal with crisis and change management alone is not enough for you. You also need to foresee change and realign the company's business strategy accordingly. You should know how to do all these things, and only then you can be successful in the competitive world. So as I said, read daily newspapers, periodicals on a regular basis, because it should become a critical part of your coursework. So get up to date with current events, because it will help you understand the business environment when you're looking for a job. So we all think that one of the best parts of doing an MBA is we can directly land on a managerial role. But I would suggest you take a considerable amount of time before you aim to reach such responsible positions. Because if you want to thrive and grow up the corporate ladder in a consistent way, then you need to equip yourself appropriately to fulfill the expectations of today's corporate world. So after you graduate, I would say you find a company first. Importantly, find a good boss who can train you, discipline you, and tell you what is good and right. It's more important than finding a good company. If you're looking for a reputed company, you'll never have anyone there to stand and talk to you or tell you what is good or what is right. So your aim is to gain experience. So if you find a good boss, definitely grab them, because that's more important as soon as you graduate. In our company, we tend to spend our time in training, developing, and supporting young people, because younger generation, they always do better than us. So we rely on them, we invest on them, and we ensure they are good. So don't give up. Don't ever give up. When everybody complains, you see that as an opportunity, I say. If you want to be successful, then don't be afraid to make mistakes, because when you make a lot of mistakes, then you can learn from it. But the only thing is, don't make the same mistake again. Then you don't understand and you won't be able to grow. So when you make a lot of mistakes, you can definitely understand, you can learn from your mistakes, but never give up. So with COVID-19 accelerating change and pushing the world towards digital transformation, I'm not sure whether you're prepared for an environment where digital technologies are going to be inevitably a key part of every role. So you have to, as MBA students, you have to be comfortable with emerging technologies, because they are the necessary ingredients for an MBA to solve complex business problems at the workplace. So it's your adaptability, creativity, resilience, whatever you say, that will allow you to ride the uncertain wave. So make sure these aspects do not get ignored by you. And during the course, you will have to be equipped with theoretical knowledge as well as soft skills that will help you perform under pressure. So when we succeed, every mistake becomes legendary. And when we fail, mistakes becomes garbage. So as youngsters, you need to understand that nothing is easy, nothing is free. If you want to be successful, then you have to pay the price for it. If you want to succeed, you will have to think different and you have to do different. The Again, the founder of Alibaba, Jack Ma, says when everybody praises an idea, saying it's good, it's excellent, it'll definitely work out, he'll throw that idea in the dustbin, it seems. When everybody says that an idea is, it's like, it's very difficult, how can we do it? It's not possible, it's impossible. Then he grabs those ideas with two hands and he just sees how different he can do that. So that's the kind of attitude he has. So, are you with me, guys? Am I going fast?
No, it's perfect, ma'am.
Right.
Oh, ma'am.
Okay, so I have few slides. The following slides that I have will give you some tips to be successful in the competitive world. So let's see one by one. So to succeed in the corporate world, I would say try to become an indispensable person, because when you juggle multiple tasks effortlessly and while being able to complete them before the deadlines, and if you deliver good quality work on time, and if you make wise decisions during critical moments, all these will make you indispensable to an employer. So how do you become indispensable? We'll just see it in detail. So I would say, like, whatever you do, you try to develop deep expertise in a function or in a role, whatever that work you do, because it could be in fluency in a foreign language that allows you to interact with an overseas client, or it could be a knowledge of a computer software used by a company. So create a position for yourself to make you indispensable. This does not mean that I'm asking you to monopolize that skill wherein you put up hurdles for others who want to learn that. No, not that. No, the idea is not that. But you become so good at it that no one else can be entrusted with that function in your company. So that should be the kind of work that you do. So it's always good to learn skills related to the core functions of your company. Just because you have to learn something new, you cannot just learn what is not relevant to your company. So make sure that, for example, developing expertise in social media campaigns may not be a relevant skill for a manufacturing company. So you understand what I mean? So you have to have relevant skills as well when you want to develop your expertise. So this sharing knowledge is very, very important in the corporate world, because companies need people, those who can mentor their colleagues and provide support. So a good mentor gives knowledge and expertise to the new employee and encourages him or her to improve the person's skills. But mentoring is not everybody's cup of tea, I know, because someone only who can take pleasure, someone who takes pleasure in watching others succeed can only be a good mentor. An insecure person, if you're not very secure, if you don't want another person to come up, those kind of people, they may not teach everything to someone who might eventually replace him in the company. So that's the kind of insecurity that crops in when we have such kind of people in our company. But organizations value employees who mentor and train junior colleagues, because that's the requirement for any business organization. If you're helping your teammates and if you're training your juniors, then you'll be seen as someone, the company must retain at all costs. So the idea is to become valuable by supporting and adding value to other employees as well. So that's the kind of spirit you need to have when you work for a company. Next is when you want to excel in your work, you just have to step out of your comfort zone and volunteer more in your company. So it's common for people, to slip into a clockwork mode over time, so that they continue to mechanically do the task assigned to them, and they rarely volunteer to do something new or something challenging, because they just want to just be there, do their work, and push off. If you're that kind of person, then no company welcomes you. So to become indispensable at work, you need to step out of that comfort zone and start doing stuff that you have never done before. It would be difficult for you to start with, but once you start, then you'll enjoy As a start, do at least one thing every week that's not part of your duties assigned to you, because your willingness to take up new tasks and challenges will send a signal to the management that you're willing to go that extra mile uh, and add value to the organization. This is very, very, very important in this competitive world. And next is about offering solutions to the organizations. When there is a problem, when there is a critical situation, the organizations value employees who offer effective solutions to problems. It's not just for the heck of saying something. You cannot just go barge in and give a solution. You have to have a detailed analysis of different solutions available. You need to understand what exactly the problem is. So don't go to your boss without working out a rational decision-making model and without a detailed action plan. So first, identify the cause of the problem when you want to solve a problem, and think of all the potential solutions that there could be. So there will be several options available, but you need to know the pros and cons of each solution, and you have to analyze the feasibility of all the solutions, and then you have to select the best solution possible. So write down why it makes the most sense, and then chart out an implementation plan. So when you're going to go and talk to your boss that you want to offer a solution, these are the things. This is how you need to analyze the problem, and this is how you have to arrive at a solution. So if you're going to be of this nature, if you're going to be of a person of this nature, then definitely you can become an indispensable person in any company or any place. And next, again, you all have seen this picture. I love this picture. Embrace change. It's just not that accepting it. It's like embracing. You need to learn to adapt to the change situation. Albert Einstein said once that when you stop learning, you start dying. So this especially applies to the present day workplace, because new technologies and artificial intelligence are fast in making humans relevant. So the only skill which keeps you relevant at work is the skill to constantly evolve, learn, and improve yourself. So individuals who embrace change, they are able to quickly adapt, and they are seen as more valuable to any company than those who cling to outdated principles and those concepts that are past their expiry date. So don't be afraid of change, just welcome it and embrace the change, most importantly. So when I say that make your boss's job easier, it's just that, like, I don't mean you suck up to your boss, because it only means that you perform tasks that relieves your boss from additional load, and it allows him to focus on other important duties. So this definitely requires a proactive approach, because this is not part of your job, part of your assigned duties. So you should not wait for the boss to call you for a help. Find out the tasks that annoy him, because if you do this regularly, your boss will start relying on you more and more. And remember, the more tiresome the task, the happier he'll be that someone else is doing it. So once he gets used to it, then he'll make sure that you're retained by the company at all costs. So the willingness to take on more has a downside as well. So it's up to you as to how you're going to handle it, because you will be expected to do more work if you show readiness, but that is the price that you have to pay to become indispensable. And this is a very important virtue in a workplace, not only in workplace, as a person. Integrity. You have to demonstrate integrity at work. Like how do you demonstrate? Personal integrity, first of all, is a fundamental attribute that companies seek in any employees. And a person who demonstrates high moral values is considered more valuable than someone who is not so particular about ethics. A honest person's actions makes him trustworthy and dependable. So you won't find him indulging in petty office politics or doing any bad mouthing his colleagues. So this is where integrity, you have to practice integrity at all levels, and this is very important when you work in a company. It's simple: doing right when no one is watching. That's it. You don't have to even pray on a daily basis if you follow this particular principle. So how can you display integrity at the workplace? Because the golden rule is to treat others the way that you want to be treated. Very simple. So this ensures that you give due respect to colleagues and customers. So honesty always encourages healthy relationships within an organization. The teams work better if they find their boss as honest, and if he's objective and if he's honest. And this extends to this does not mean that you have to compromise the confidentiality of the certain information, because a person of integrity will maintain confidentiality at any times if required, but such a person is more likely to be given a position of responsibility than a person who is least bothered about ethics or integrity. So being reliable in everything you do, this is very, very important. Being reliable, I mean, you can be trusted to do your work correctly without supervision. This is very important in a company, because your manager or a superior cannot just come behind you all the time to check whether you have understood, whether you have done it, whether you're doing it. So an employee needs to be able to trust their employees to get their work done. And missing a project deadline, or arriving late for a meeting, or going on leave without any prior notice, or these are some of the unpleasant surprises for any managers in our office. We just hate these kind of irresponsible reasons. For them, reliability equals efficiency. So if an employee shows up on time, finishes his work before the deadline, maintains basic office discipline, he is seen as more valuable than someone who is forever making excuses for his negligence and delays. So reliability is more than just time management, because it just reflects the mindset of the individual, I feel. So if a manager knows that he can depend on an employee to submit the project report before the deadline, or reaches office at time, he'll assign more responsibilities to such worker again. So consistently being reliable in everything you do is very important. So make sure you don't make false promises anywhere, anytime, regardless of whether it's your professional life or personal life. Because before you make a commitment, just be sure that you will be able to keep it. Instead of promising too much, if you deliver too little, it's better to scale down the promise, then you can delight the boss by doing more than what you committed. So this way you send out the message that you don't want to make false promises, but you're willing to go that extra mile to deliver. So as I said, learning is a continuous process. So you have to keep learning, because even when you go to a job, just keep learning whatever is relevant to your job, whatever is relevant to the company's product or services, whichever is relevant to the company, because it just broadens your mind, and it helps you in self-development, and it gives you a lot of new opportunities, and it's an efficient way of work as well. And it has a lot of other benefits when you keep learning, and it's again a personal well-being as well altogether. This is again an important attribute of a leader or a manager, building relationship at work. So when it comes to relationship, it's not only within your team, outside the team, you have to have a relationship, you have to interact nicely, you have to get to know who's there, what they're doing exactly, because you don't know how it's going to help you in your work tomorrow. And when you have relationship and you have built a good rapport with people, it improves productivity, and you'll get a kind of satisfaction every time when you have these kind of positive attributes. So teamwork, again, when you build good relationship with your team, the better teamwork will be, you'll be able to get better teamwork, and the personal growth, again, that will be good. And the emotional well-being is also very important for for a team member to perform well. And it's all interlinked, like only when the team is good, when you understand them, if they have any problem, if you understand the difficulty, then you're definitely going to get their support at all times. Coming back to this particular slide, some time ago, I was just listening to Kalaivani, Dr. Kalaivani, and I understood that, like, for any Indian, we feel sad, like when you keep getting to listen that India is still developing and it has not developed. So take my word, by 2030, India is going to be a superpower. So we have, yes, we are the most populous nation, but we have the most college graduates and we have the largest middle class. So when we say largest middle class, you can also note that the consumer durable industry is going to boom, because the middle class is the market that the suitable market for those durable goods. So we have the most cell phone and internet users, and the third largest military. We have the third largest military compared to other countries, and we are in the third largest economy. And with 600 million people under the age of 25, so the youngest workforce in Asia, that is the most important strength what we have in India. And I would also like to tell you another thing. And the ITC Grand Chola in Chennai, it has around 650 rooms as part of their inventory. Can you believe that they have reserved 150 rooms only for international people, those who come down to India to work? So people are there, like, coming down to India for work. In Bangalore, there are a lot of accommodations getting ready for international people, those who are going to come down to India to work. So the brain drain is going to happen in a reversal way, I would say. So take my word, we are definitely going to, become a superpower soon, in another 10 years of time. So the youngest workforce, the managers, the young people, as I said in the beginning of the session, young people, you have the kind of, the energy and the kind of interest, the kind of work that you do. It's so commendable. So I'm sure that we will be able to succeed, and because India will be one of the potential superpowers of the world in future, and it's going to be a rapidly expanding economy we have. And in 2015, India became the world's fastest growing economy with a 5% estimated GDP rate. So definitely by 2030, and we will become a superpower. And by 2030, the forecast says urban India will account for nearly 75% of the GDP. So you can be sure that India will have a leading seat in international institutions, and our businesses are going to continuously improve improve, and in all ways, in all aspects, economic growth is going to go up, and global innovations are going to happen. So you have the world at your fingertips. So whatever role that you want to play, you just have to choose today, and in future, we definitely are going to win altogether. So that's the thing for me now. So I'm not sure whether I was very fast in whatever that I said, because I couldn't make it as an interactive session because I had some few system issues as well. So I'm so sorry. And if you have any questions with regard to any practical experience with regard to tourism, you can definitely ask me. And I want to tell you about the tourism field. One of the hidden industries, I would say, I'm not sure how many of you are aware of the opportunities available in tourism field. It's a phenomenal industry wherein you can thrive and grow. Sky is the only limit, I would say, because nobody knows what exactly we do in tourism. And for any Indian, if you love India, if you have a passion for India, then tourism is a place where you can show all your patriotism, because in a day you meet different kinds of people from different parts of the world. So obviously when we talk about India, when we talk about what we have as positive points, the kind of feel, the energy you have in explaining and in briefing them about what exactly we do, how we do, the culture we have, uh, what kind of what kind of initiatives that we have taken as far as India is concerned compared to other countries, all are phenomenal. And every client that we meet here, they always they go in tears after hearing all our success stories, after traveling all other destinations that we have in and around India. So it's a completely different world altogether, which is still hidden. And I heard that you have a tourism degree in your institute as well. And I just want to know how exactly you're going to go about explaining people, because tourism is a field, you can't make people sit in a classroom and explain what exactly we are doing. It's more of a practical session that you require. We cannot make anything, like this is what is going to happen today. Every day is a learning experience for tourism industry. When you enter into tourism, like, you have to take instantly decision, you have to think on your feet. Every minute is a learning for you. And most importantly, you cannot say sorry, because we Indians easily say sorry and apologies for anything and everything without having any guilty feeling or without feeling shame. But like, you can never say sorry or apologies without paying a price for it. When the client is late to the airport, when the driver arrives late, then there is a price for a company to pay. You cannot just say sorry and leave, because people have invested money, they have paid money for the tour, and they have come all the way down to India to tour. So there is no sorry or no apologies available in tourism industry. So for everything, there is a price. So I just allow time for you to ask me if you have any questions.
Ma'am, this is Shweta from second year.
Yes, Shweta.
Ma'am, sorry for the, ma'am, I have a question. Like, as you talked about tourism industry, so after getting an MBA degree in marketing, what kind of jobs or roles can a student, fresher can get?
Okay. Oh, as I said, when you want to come into tourism, the degree, whatever you have, it's not going to play a role at all, because tourism is ever like it's a learning experience for everybody on a daily basis. Nobody can say that, yeah, I'm in tourism field, I know everything about tourism. No, even the companies, like whoever it is, Thomas Cook or whoever it is, when they have been in business for any decades, doesn't matter. Every day is a learning for people here. So when you want to come into tourism, you're most welcome, but come with an open mind, because you have a lot of things to learn about. You would have learned all other skills, all other concepts in MBA, but what do you know about the culture of people in each and every destination? And like, you need a lot of practical experience for you to excel in tourism. You can learn a lot about a destination from the book, but unless and until you visit a place, you talk to people, you go and see exactly what is there, you will not be able to sell that product to your client, because we invest a lot of time in making people travel to destinations before they become tour consultants. We have tour consultants as a role. As I said earlier, we receive inquiries through websites, travel inquiries, and those travel inquiries are attended by travel consultants or tour consultants that we call. What they do, when they, as soon as they receive the inquiry, they'll have information about the client, like where they want to travel, and how many days they have, and what is their interest, and what kind of accommodation they look for. So those kind of basic details will be available in an inquiry. So the travel consultant or the tour consultant's role is to talk to the client over phone or it's email. They write back to them, asking for more details if it's not available in the inquiry. Because many people, there are people, we handle all kinds of people from different parts of the world. Some people, they talk English, some people they don't know English, some people, French people, they are very comfortable communicating in French only. So since we handle a lot of clients, international clients from varied interests, from varied origin, we need to probe more and we need to find out what exactly they're looking for. So the language is very important, because we have people, those who speak foreign languages as well with us, French, German. So there are a lot of language speaking people also available in this industry. So to answer exactly your question, Nitya, is that right? Sorry, Shweta. Shweta, once you come into tourism field, you have to learn a lot about the industry, about different destination. What you learn from the book or what you learn from your degree is different from what we have here as a practical thing. So here, in tourism, this is the only industry where, there is no hierarchy, because all the roles available in tourism industry is interlinked. Nobody can say that I'm in the top management position and I have one person who is very subordinate to me. No hierarchy exists in this tourism field, because there can be hierarchy for a documentation purpose. You can say that I'm the owner and he's the manager, he's the vice president. But when it comes to practical life, everybody has to work together to make a tour successful. If a driver says that, I'm only a driver, what shall I do? Then the whole tour will go for a toss, because in our industry, tourism industry, drivers are called as the ambassadors of the company, because they represent the company. There are people, we communicate everything through email, and there are situations wherein we will never be able to see our clients in person at all, because they will be arriving at a different destination. We have our office, we may not have our office there in that particular destination where the client arrives. So in those situations, whatever we have communicated through email, that's the only thing. The whole tour is being organized and being implemented by the driver only. So can we say that being an owner of the company, I'm responsible for that particular tool if that goes well? No, because it's the responsibility of the driver. The driver can make the trip or break the trip. So that's the kind of importance is there for each and every role. So the role's importance doesn't come into picture at all, as manager, as driver, as tour executive. So everybody is important here. When you join a tourism company, you also have to have that kind of perspective in your mind. Only then you can grow along with the company. Because MBAs, what they do, as soon as you join, I have seen many MBAs, I've interviewed many MBAs. So what they have in mind is they think tourism is also one of the industries like other industry, manufacturing or service industries. Tourism is very, very, very different. Unless and until you understand the nature of the industry, you will not be able to succeed in this particular industry. But once you learn, once you understand the intricacies of this industry, nobody will quit this industry, because it's so interesting, so lively, so energetic. And for people like you, young people, you can just rock in this industry. It's very interesting. You can learn on a daily basis, and you can travel a lot, and you'll get to know. Only in tourism industry, every day you will feel very high about our country, because you talk a lot about India, you talk a lot about what the culture, what we follow. And we Indians have the mentality of making a lot of complaints. We say, oh, our roads are dirty, street is dirty, this is that, and we have a lot of complaints about our country. But just when you get an opportunity, try to talk to an international person, another country, whoever it is, USA or UK or whoever it is. Just talk about India and see what kind of feedback that you get, because the way they see our country is entirely different, completely different. They don't see the dirt here, they don't see the dust here. They see the people, they see the culture, they see the tradition, the rich tradition what we follow. And we have curated a very important, very exclusive product for foreigners called Vanakkam Madurai. And that product is like based in Madurai. What we do is, I would like to just talk about this product for a few minutes, because it's very important for you to understand what exactly tourism is.
Yeah,
Hope I can take these.
Yes, my dear, go ahead.
So this Vanakkam Madurai, you know what we do? As soon as clients land in Madurai, we take them to many places in the nook and corner of Madurai. They wouldn't have even dreamt as to this such experiences exist. We take them to wholesale markets, where they sell bananas, where they sell spices, because we Indians think, what is there for a foreign client to see in a wholesale market? For them, you know, everything they exclaim everything with they're amazed to see all these things. They're amazed with all the coordinations what we have. Even they have so much of apprehension to even cross the Indian roads, because they say that it's all chaos. But out of all those chaotic situations, what kind of economy, what kind of business that we are doing, how happy our people are, that's what they're looking at. And when we take them to places like that, it's, you know, like we ourselves feel very proud to be an Indian, to be a person living here in Madurai, to be a person living here in Tamil Nadu, because those are the kind of positive experiences that you get when you interact with international clients. So this Vanakkam Madurai is a very successful product, I would say, and this showcases Madurai in a very different way. We take them not to the sightseeing places, we take them to where the life unfolds in a day. This Vanakkam Madurai product, this tour starts early in the morning. Can you imagine? 5:30 it starts, and 5 o'clock our team will be ready, and 5:30 clients will go to the starting place. It starts somewhere in between, like in the interior part of the city. And since it's very early in the morning, the atmosphere will be very quiet. We'll be able to talk to the clients, explain to them what exactly they see. Even we show them the milking cows. That even we think that what is there to show cow milking, and you know, like how many foreigners have enjoyed that particular site, because it's not very common in their place. So whatever we think it's very common here, it's uncommon for them. It's a sight for them. So when we take them around at early morning, they see it from a very different perspective. Even we can learn from them what exactly we have in Madurai, in every city in India. Only we will understand the importance of India after going through all these experiences with international clients. So this is the kind of experience that we have been giving. So as an MBA student, when you want to come and join a tourism company, you have a lot to learn. We give you training, definitely. As I said earlier, we never take experienced people, because our company has a kind of policy. We always take freshers and we train them as per the requirement, because our company is very unique in the industry. We don't have any experienced people, so we are not a copy of any travel company. Either me or my husband, who's a director in the company, we both have no travel industry experience at all. So we have created each and every role here out of experience, or what we gained here in the company. So it's very, very special. And we train the people in such a way that how exactly we can conduct a tour, and we train them what to talk, what not to talk about India when we meet international clients. So everything we give the training, and that's how our industry is. So Shweta, I'm not sure whether I have answered your question because I've talked so much about other things with related to tourism, but definitely you have a potential. You have very good potential as youngsters, and I would welcome you all to experience this kind of if you want to feel proud, if you want to take pride being an Indian, then join a tourism company. That's the only place where every minute you can feel proud of being an Indian. So Shweta, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And it was an excellent answer, actually. If I have a passion of traveling, so I think it will add that to the advantage as well.
Okay, because traveling, it always makes you feel very young. When you travel, you get to learn a lot of things. Only more than explaining in words, you have to experience it. For that experience, you have to go to the ground, the reality that you have to see. So tourism is an amazing industry. So whoever has taken tourism as a specialization, I wish you all the very best, because you have an excellent future as soon as you finish. But you have to make sure that you join a company where you can learn things, because all companies are not the same, and they have their own style of operating. So try to learn more about tourism industry, because it's a very interesting industry. And as I said, there is no ground rule that you have to do this work like this, you have to do this work like this, because in all other companies there is a set of rules, there's a documented thing. If there is a function, it has to be done like this. But in tourism, like, you can never devise such kind of rules or regulations. A role can be dealt by a person in his own way, as long as they do it in uh, a proper way, ethical way. That's the only thing we look for in a person. That's why I said honesty is very, very important. Business ethics is very important in tourism industry. You always have to be very careful in what you say, and what not to say. Those are the things that we train people. Otherwise, there's no hard and fast rule as to how you have to work here, how you have to think, because creativity is very, very, very important for tourism industry. Because if you have the creativity in your if you have the creativity as a passion, then definitely you can rock and roll in this industry.
Thank you, ma'am.
Most welcome, Shweta. Any other questions?
Ma'am, this is R. Varsha from first year.
Yes, Varsha.
Ma'am, if you don't mind, can you repeat the names of the books you asked us for read?
Want to know the names of books that you is it relevant to tourism that you're asking?
No, ma'am. In the starting, you told no, ma'am. You should read these books. That.
Okay. The last book that I read was Whale Pari. It was written by Sue Venkatesan. That's actually a book that talks about Pari, the tribal community king. See, whatever book it is, Varsha, you read the book, and I can get your number from Prabha, because I would like to talk to you personally after you read the book to know what exactly your feedback would be about that experience. Because for that particular book, you can become an expert. You can say yourself as an expert that you have a lot of information about the forest, the kind of medicinal values, how people have handled early days. So it talks about many things, a lot of things. I really wonder as to how this writer has managed to write so much of information, so much of facts in that book. Instead of explaining that to you in words, I would really love you if you go and read that book and tell me how exactly you feel. It may take a longer time because there are 2 parts of the book, and I took around 20-30 days to complete the book. So if you have time, definitely give it a try. You will never regret, and you will become a voracious reader, I would say, if you start reading books like this.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Any other questions, students?
Ma'am, this
Yes.
is Sridevi from second year MBA.
Hi, Sridevi.
Yes, ma'am. So 2 years back, when I was doing my UG, my main project topic was tourism development with reference to environmental purity. So at that time, I didn't get an opportunity to meet tourism industry specialists like you, ma'am. So now that our faculties have arranged a meeting like this, I'd like to ask you to share a few insights about ecotourism, ma'am.
Ecotourism. It's a huge topic, Sridevi. Are you still doing that project, or have you completed it?
No, ma'am, I have completed.
Oh, you have completed.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
because ecotourism is a huge topic in itself, and I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to tell you in few words in this forum. But you can get my number from Prabha, and I can talk to you in person as to what exactly the insights you're looking for with regard to.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Because it's a huge topic, and that's a different, entirely a different topic altogether. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
I would like to hear something about the tourism graduates, like what exactly your understanding is about tourism, because you have taken the course. I'm really surprised and happy to see people who have taken this tourism course, because I don't think any colleges or any universities have promoted this course to that level, because I always have regretted why this university or any other college is not giving importance to tourism degrees, because it's an amazing field, and only in India there is no exposure to tourism industry at all. I would say only in South India, because at least in North India you have a lot of people who have initiated taking tourism as a degree, but in South India I still don't have a confidence that people have understood tourism as a career. Would any of your students, tourism students, would like to explain anything in these lines? I would like to know what you have understood tourism as a career and how you're going to go about, if you have any idea.
Ma'am, this is Harita from SRM, ma'am.
Hi, Harita.
I'm the research fellow of the department, and I'm also the alumni of the department.
Okay.
So when we studied here, we had tourism management here, and the department will always motivate us to take the course. And here in the department, they take it very serious, ma'am. But it's an elective paper, but they will take it very seriously and teach it to the students, ma'am.
I'm very happy to hear that, Harita.
Thank you, ma'am.
So what kind of practical experiences that you try to give to your students? Do you send them to any companies for interns, or how exactly being a research person you do for tourism, Harita?
Ma'am, I'm not doing my PhD in tourism. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, your voice is a little wobbly, but yes, I can hear you to an extent. Can you repeat? Harita?
Yeah, I'm not doing my PhD, but we during the COVID pandemic we were here, ma'am. So we did not get an opportunity to go visit the institutions. But I have heard from my seniors that they would take students to places.
Okay. Yes, it's very unfortunate that tourism is the worst affected industry in this COVID period. But I'm sure we are going to recover, and we are going to rock, I would say, in the coming days. And the domestic tourism has started, fortunately. And for inbound tourism, I mean people those who are coming from other parts of the world to India for tour. So that we call it as inbound tourism. For inbound tourism to resume, it would take another year, I would say, because the international border has to open, and the vaccination drive is still going on. People will be very particular whether Indians all have vaccinated and they're all safe. So those are the things that we are waiting for. Otherwise, tourism will definitely rock in 2022 or 23, and then we are going to have a big time post COVID.
Yes. Thank you, Maithili. It was a wonderful, inspiring session we had. Definitely, I think students might have enjoyed your contribution, the presentation. Thank you for accepting our invitation for this forum.
Yes. Sorry. Thank you, Prabha. I was just saying thank you.
Yeah, okay.
I'm so happy that your students, to meet all your students, and it's very nice to see their enthusiasm. And
Exactly.
it would have been really nice if it was a physical session, like we have the kind of disadvantages with.
As you said, we have a hope to meet in person, right? Physical mode session. We'll have one more session, at least by next year. Okay. Now I request Roshni to deliver a vote of thanks to our guest for the day.
On behalf of the Department of Management, I extend a hearty vote of thanks to our chief guest, Ms. Maithili Pandian, who spared time to grace the occasion. Today, we had an opportunity to hear your thoughts, and this will surely encourage us in the future events. Then, I would like to thank our Dean, sir, for giving us this opportunity to conduct this event. My sincere thanks to Dr. C. Prasida, Professor and HOD Department of Management Studies, this event and providing us with this opportunity. I also extend my thankfulness and appreciation to the faculty in charge, Dr. M. Prabhadevi, Associate Professor, Department of Management Studies, for the guidance and support for organizing and ensuring that this event becomes a great success. Last but not the least, I thank my MBA students and my friends for the cooperation in making this session a resounding success. Thank you all.
Thank you, Roshni. And I thank all the students here along with the faculty members. And thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Maithili.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's nice meeting you all. So,
absolutely, same here. And I do really wish that, physically we should be able to at least meet once
sure,
in the coming near future.
Sure, certainly. That would be a pleasure of mine. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Maithili. Ma'am, the next guest is waiting.
Okay.
Shall we invite Mercy?
Yeah. Please, let's go ahead.
HOD ma'am. HOD ma'am.
Yes, Arjun.
Ma'am, can you share the link of yesterday's videos, ma'am? Since we came for enrollment, we could not attend the classes of yesterday's.
They will be shared to you in the group by the coordinator. Please don't worry. Okay, a lot of coordination is going around right now because a number of guests are being, introduced. So it will take some time.
Which one, ma'am? Which one is asking for? I didn't listen.
Video links he wanted.
What is
that? Yesterday's sessions. Because they were in enrollment, they could not take.
Yeah, it is available in YouTube. I'll share you the link also.
Okay.
You just mentioned Udbhavah Setuh Day 3 session. You can see the YouTube videos in YouTube.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
It's available. Already it is available.
Mercy has joined?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. She said she is joining. Welcome, Mercy. Good morning. Welcome, Mercy, to this forum. We are so happy to have you.
Hi, ma'am. Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello. Prasida, ma'am, Mercy has
Yes,
arrived.
Mercy.
Hi,
So nice to
ma'am.
see you after such a long time, Mercy.
Same
Really
here, ma'am. Nice to see you too.
nice to have you here on this forum. And as one of our star students, I'm sure that many of our students will be inspired by you and they will learn a lot from you. You seem to be working with a very interesting organization, isn't it? Samunnati.
Yes.
We had a guest the first day, ma'am.
Yeah.
The same company only she is working with. It is a very good startup company. She is working along with them.
Good.
As an analyst. Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Like I already said, it is a privilege, and I'm very happy to be back, especially coming back to your alma mater. It's such a good feeling, and to be able to talk to many others of what is our experience of what we have learned, and through this process we will be learning from each other. And I'm so glad that I made the time and I'm being part of this session, ma'am.
And it's always a pleasure to have you back, Mercy.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
That's true.
Continue, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
See, before we go for the session, I'd like to call upon one of our students to introduce the guest for the session. Okay, Ms. Harini, over to you.
Very good morning to all the dignitaries, faculties, and my friends. I feel privileged to introduce our alumni and the guest lecturer of the day, Ms. Mercy V. Soundarya. She holds an impressive profile as an experienced manager in quality control with a demonstrated history of working in financial services industry. Ms. Mercy started her journey as a finance graduate from Stella Maris College. Later, she pursued her master's in business administration, speaking in finance and specializing in finance and marketing from SRM University. She began her career as an operation analyst in Goldman Sachs, and at present she is working as a quality and process excellence manager in Samnati Financial Intermediation and Service Private Limited. Being a vibrant personality and striving for quality in all she does, she was awarded as best outgoing student for the year 2015. She has also won the Kaizen Award in Services Industry category at the Kaizen Competition 2018 held by Federation of Indian Industry at Chennai and New Delhi. It's a pleasure to have you, ma'am. Welcome home.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. So can I start, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Yes. So good morning, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here and to be able to meet so many students at one shot. It is an honor. And the next 1 hour is we'll try to make the best use of that 1 hour. Like already introduced by one of the students, I'd like to introduce myself again. My name is Mercy, and I've been a student of the batch 2015-17 SRM Vadapalani campus, and it's been a tremendous journey since then. And right now I'm working with a company called Sammunnati Financial Intermediation. It is an agri-based financial services organization, and the company aims towards serving farmers across the country and bringing products and solutions that are very unique and meet their needs on a daily basis. So this is the kind of business that the organization is focused towards. And my journey with Sammunnati is been for about 9 months so far. And like I already said, it's been a tremendous journey. I've worked with many teams and currently holding the position of the process excellence manager. And the kind of role that I perform is looking at processes and how they can improve on a daily basis so that we could do quality services and perform better as an organization and meet customer needs. So that's a quick update about myself. And without further delay, we'll quickly jump into what we are going to talk about today is self-branding. It will be good if I can see at least a few people on video, because I don't want this to be a monologue. We'll try to make this session as interactive as possible. You can stop at any time. You can ask me questions and feel free, because this is going to be a very interactive session. So with that, we will, ma'am, can I share my screen? I think I need to be given the permission to do that. Yeah.
We made you as a co-host, Mercy. Now you can do.
Yes, I got it. So, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes. So, branding yourself. Okay. So, this is what we're going to talk about. And this session, we're going to be talking about what is branding, what is personal branding, and how it is going to come in very handy for people like you who are at the verge of kickstarting your professional career. And personal branding as a concept is not something new, but there have been lots of communication channels that have been developed for the purpose of branding yourself at this point of time, because so many social media platforms are being used for branding professionals in the market space so that they can reach out and build their network. So we'll begin the session with a quick exercise, okay, a quick quiz. So you can just unmute yourself and then start talking. I'm sure you would have done a lot of these exercises during your MBA, but I'm just going to do something quite similar. Okay, so on the screen, you will find a couple of taglines, a couple of brand statements. What organizations represent. Okay, can we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the first one, think different.
Apple.
Apple. Perfect. Next one, just do it.
Nike.
Nike, right. America runs on Dunkin'.
Donuts.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts, yeah. The tagline has the answer anyways. Okay, the next one.
KFC.
McDonald's.
KFC, yes. The next one. Open happiness.
Right.
It is Coca-Cola. Okay, next one. Broadcast yourself. What tagline is this? Which organization does this represent? Anybody? Anybody can answer. I'm sure.
Ma'am, YouTube.
YouTube, yes, right. So the next one, eat fresh.
Is it Subway?
It is Subway, right. Okay, one last one. I'm sure the girls would know this.
L'Oreal Paris.
Yeah, right. Okay, so the purpose of bringing in these examples and doing this small exercise is to make us realize, to see how far these brand statements or these taglines have gone. Anybody around the world or any nook and corner of the world, if you say it's finger licking good, they'll be able to guess which organization's tagline this is. So with these examples, one thing that we need to realize is that brand statements may be just a bunch of words put together, but they actually go a long way. Okay, and these brand statements usually represent what the company does, their core service, or they could also sometimes talk about the values that the organization believes in, and also sometimes they talk about their core values, their objectives, their vision, mission, and so on. So these taglines are like a communication channel for organizations to talk to people across the world. So over the years, these slogans were becoming, rallying cries, because people when as soon as they hear broadcast yourself, they know it is YouTube. They don't even have to think about it. It's when you say think different, you immediately know it is Apple. So this have set the tone of how each company communicates and identifies itself. And it's just a handful of words. These slogans have told a story, and they have influenced how people perceive the organizations and what they believe in as a company. And together, these bunch of words, they represent the power and the potential of branding. So the reason why we're talking about these organizations is to show the real power of branding and how far they can go as an organization in building a career, in building a strategy for organizations to survive in the competitive market. So a very quick quote of somebody called Mr. Sean Gresh. He's a faculty member of a master's studies in Northeastern Master University. And what he says is branding is what companies stand for. It's reflected in how that company acts, how it serves people, the value that the company shares, and how the company projects those values. And a strong brand stands out in the crowd and gains more sales, increased awareness, and better customer experiences as a result. So branding as a term, if you see in the corporate environment right now, branding is a concept, and it is something that every organizations, be it service oriented, be it a manufacturing company, be it a processing company, any industry that any organization would belong to, they look at branding as a concept, as something that is like a survival instinct for any organization. So, but the question here is branding just for companies? What do you think? Is branding just for organizations? Is it only for business purposes?
No, ma'am, it's for
No,
everything.
ma'am, for the consumers also, ma'am, because they get to identify with the companies.
Yes.
Like with branding, if you do like better branding, then the customers can trust the company more.
Sure. Again, but we're still talking about companies. So my question is, are we using branding these days only as a concept for organizations, or is branding a universal concept for any sector or any style of business?
Universal sector.
It's universal, right? So the main reason why we're talking about this concept right now is to bring in the concept of self-branding, right? So self-branding, what we mean by that is considering yourself as a person, as an individual, and creating a brand for yourself in the market is called as self-branding. Yes, branding isn't just for company. Branding isn't only for business goals. Branding isn't only for achieving profits or reaching people. Branding is for professionals as well. Professionals each have their own story to tell and their goals, skills, and expertise to share. And today's increasingly digital world, it's not just a nice to have point. It's expected everybody has their own strategy toward building their own self brands. So to further understand this, personal branding it's a practice of marketing people. And when we say personal branding, we are considering ourselves as a brand, and we are expressing what we do and what we believe in and what we want to be looked at in the market space. So it is an ongoing process. Okay, personal branding is a process that keeps evolving every day, because as an individual in our careers, we tend to evolve on a daily basis. We learn a lot and we become different individuals, and all in the positive side, where we grow towards becoming professionals in the market space. So this is an ever evolving process, and self branding is something that we need to continuously work on. It is a continuous process.
Ma'am,
So
I have a doubt, ma'am.
yes.
Whether resume is also a part of personal branding, ma'am?
Of course, we are getting there. So resume building is been a practice for many decades, right? When you have to talk about yourself, resume is like a one pager which tells you all that you do, all your skill sets, and what you believe in as an individual. But the trend has changed. Earlier it used to be resumes, now it is all digital. There are so many platforms outside which where you can brand yourself. And when we're talking about social media, we have LinkedIn, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, Twitter, and so on. So there are multiple platforms in the digital space which have further made the importance of self branding very, very prominent. So like you rightly said, resume building is also a form of self branding. And your personal brand is how you promote yourself. It's just a combination of the skills, of your experiences, of the personality, of what you want your audience to see. And then it is also telling of your story, of what you do, and what is your belief system and your impression people gain from your reputation. So we've seen what is branding. We've seen how branding works for organizations. And we also understood that branding is not just for companies, it is also for individuals, it is also for professionals on whatever they want to achieve in their personal careers. So moving on. So how do we build the skill set of personal branding? Okay, we all know that personal branding goes a long, long way. And we know that it has evolved over the period of many years. And we also know that branding is now very critical and it's very important. You should have your own brand statement. You should have your own way of exposing yourself to the outer world. So how do we do that are some of the key points that I picked up from the internet, and some of which I have personally experienced. And I just wanted to share these things with you so that these could be implemented by you in building your own strategy. So let's look at each of these one by one. So the first thing, so in the process of building your own brand, first thing is you discover yourself. So this may not be as simple as it sounds. Discover yourself is just a bunch of 2 words, but this is a very long process for you to understand, reflect on who you are, what you believe in, what are your values, what are your skill sets, what you want to achieve, and what are your strengths. So say, for example, you are a marketing specialist and you are good at designing websites for organizations. So that is a skill set. And that is something that you are really good at. So that makes you stand out. So that is your strength. So the first step in building your personal brand is to discover yourself. You have to this is a self-reflection process where you understand who you are, what you believe in, what are your strengths, what are your skill sets, and then just simply write down what you are good at. Okay, so that's step number 1, which is discover yourself. Next one is pick a swim lane. Say, for example, you're joining a swimming race. So how would you swim? Would you swim across everywhere around the pool, or would you swim in your lane?
In one lane.
In one lane. So what we mean by this is choose your career path, choose what you want to do, and choose what you want to achieve, and where you want to shine as a professional. So pick your own swim lane. We don't want to be running across everywhere saying that I want to do this, I want to do that, and so on. So pick your lane, pick a swim lane, and choose what you want to do. Because what happens is when you try to be everything, your brand statement actually gets diluted into nothing. You might be talking about everything else, and at the end of reading your brand statement or understanding your brand, people might end up thinking that what exactly does this person stand for? What exactly does this person carry as a professional? So pick your swim lane, choose where you want to go, choose your area of work, be it marketing, be it social service. There are a lot of people who are interested in serving people, who work towards philanthropic objectives. So pick your swim lane, what you want to achieve. The next one is stay informed for better or worse. So what happens is when you start reaching out to people, expressing yourself, talking about who you are as an individual, be it on social media platform or even through other modes where we're talking to hiring managers and so on. You have to be able to ensure that you have a two-way communication here. Okay, it's not about, branding is not just about you talking to others of who you are. It is also listening back from them on what they think. So sometimes what happens is we don't know what we're good at. Although we do know what our skill sets are, what we have studied across our professional courses and so on, but there might be something that stands unique. And this is where our network plays a very critical role. We need to start talking to people outside and ask them what they think about us. Sometimes it's not very nice to hear. Sometimes it is very good feedback. Sometimes it may be worse. But whatever the case is, you are the beneficiary, because you get the benefit of understanding what is not your strength and what you could probably focus on and convert your weakness into a strength. So staying informed, be it for better or worse, is another critical skill when you are building your personal brand. Next one is forget what you want and what's in it for them. Say, for example, you are looking out for a job and you are working in the area of, I'll take the same example of marketing. And for organizations to recognize you, they might start looking out to understand what your brand is, what you stand for, what are your skill sets, what do you professionally possess as a knowledge. So these are the things that they start looking into. But when you start talking about this is what I do, this is what I will do, this is what I think will work better for me, may not be a good strategy. You should start talking about what's in it for them. So you should make your communication pitch in such a manner that whoever you are going to target as an audience should be a beneficiary of who you are as a person. Say, for example, if you're talking to a hiring manager who's looking out for a marketing specialist, you should be able to stand out as an individual of how different you are as a marketing specialist. And you should also be able to give him what he wants as an organizational objective. You should be able to enable them to see the benefit if they hire you as a professional. So I'm not taking the example of only hiring here. See, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're looking out to build your own network of clientele, if you have to build your own customer base, you need to give what the customers want, right? So it's not only about telling people who you are, it is also about telling people what they would get if they are in a relationship with you, right? And the next thing is make a personal connection with your audience. So this is something that is quite applicable in a social media space, right? You talk about people, you create your own network. Say you're an entrepreneur who's looking out, say you're a software developer, you build apps for customers. Once you start building your network, you need to start making personal connection. You need to talk to them and also ensure that you tag these people wherever necessary and start building your personal communication with them. So every time you communicate something to these people, they should understand that they are involved and they belong to your network. Okay, so choosing your audience is important, and staying in personal connection with them is also important. The next thing is be real. So a very basic and essential concept when you're talking about yourself, when you're building your brand, is to be real. We don't want to, fake around telling people you're good at something when you're not really good at it. Once the actual validation happens, we don't want to look like fools, right? So be real. Be very specific of what you're good at. Be very specific of what you possess as a quality or a skill set. So don't make up or try to copy your brand statements from others, even though you don't hold it. So being real is very essential and very important. The next one is be understood. So what happens sometimes is we get our brand statements. We say that this is who I am. In my example, if I were to build my own brand statement, I would say that I am a process excellence specialist. I am a quality oriented person, and I always look towards continually improving processes of organizations. So with these three statements, what I am communicating to organizations is that if they hire me, I will ensure that they will their processes will be streamlined, will always work towards continuous improvement and so on. But also the very critical point is they need to understand what I am communicating, what I am doing. So say for example, I'm just saying that I will work on processes, but what exactly am I going to achieve by doing that is not clear. It's a waste. You build a very fancy statement and then people don't really get what you're trying to say. It ends up being nothing but a couple of sentences put together, and then you're communicating something and then people don't get you at all. So usually what happens is people skip these profiles and they don't get into details of understanding who they are. So this critical point of being understood. So you need to be empathetic. You need to put yourself in the shoes of a customer. If a customer is somebody that you're trying to reach out to, if that is your target audience, put yourselves in the shoes of a customer and see if you're able to understand or relate to what you are communicating. Okay. So if it's a hiring manager that you're trying to reach out to, and if they are your target audience, what would they need from you is something that you need to understand. So again, a very quick point, there's nothing as quick and amazing as social media, and you make the maximum best use of it. Okay. We use social media for multiple purposes. I'm not here to talk about ethical values of how you need to social media, but in the professional space, social media has a lot of importance, and it's become so prominent that people don't even read resumes these days. They just look at your profile, what you do, what you believe in. They look at your career, and everything is there out on the social media platform. So how we use the social media platforms, be it Twitter or LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is, because these days entrepreneurs are using every possible medium to communicate to their customers. There are business models which have been very successful only through the Instagram mode of communication. So very cautious point here is you need to be very careful of how you use your social medium, and we don't want to hang around everywhere. Choose your medium, choose where you want to be strong, choose where you want to brand yourself, and that is one critical point. The next one is hustle. What does the word hustle mean? Anybody wants to say? It's an American term. Indians don't use it much, but what is hustle? Anybody wants to take a guess?
Making money.
Okay.
Doing something very quickly, like pushing it.
Sure. Both of them are quite right, but making money may not be it may be a benefit of hustle. But what we mean by hustle is juggling around these things, and putting information at the right time, in the right circumstances, in the right manner. So hustle is something that you do. Say, for example, at this phase of your life, your job is to your goal is to find a job in an organization. Say, for example, you're trying to secure a job in the Big Four. What would they need? You juggle around your brand statement. You put it in a way where they understand what you are as a person, and so that it meets their organizational goals and they pick you. Similarly, you also you're ending your employee experience, and then you start wanting to become an entrepreneur. You want to do your own thing now, and you want to build your customer network. Again, you juggle around your brand statement. So brand statements, like I earlier mentioned, it is not a one-time activity. It's an evolving process basis your goals, your objectives, and your beliefs. And also, as an individual, as you keep growing, you need to keep fine-tuning your brand statements. You need to keep juggling around so that you reach out to the right people in the right circumstances. Okay. And we don't want to be making conflicting statements while establishing yourself as an individual, because there have been scenarios where these self-branding have gone really wrong. People have ended up leaving social media because of not getting this in the right way. So hustle means to keep juggling around, find the right people, find the right time and right way of communicating something. So these are some of the skill sets that we as an individual need to develop. And when you start implementing these in your while you are building yourself brand, it actually reveals a lot of things about you, and It also helps you fine tune your goals, your objectives. And like I already mentioned, it is like a self-reflection. You know a lot about yourself. And all of these points actually come in very handy when you are at the verge of starting your professional career. I'm sure all of you are now either looking out to be part of great organizations which have great goals and objectives, or you're beginning your entire entrepreneur journey and so on. So this is a right time where you start working towards building your self brand. So moving on, let's quickly try and write our own personal brands. Okay, so let's do a quick exercise, and let's see where we get. It may not necessarily be your final brand statement, but we're trying to work out something and see if it really comes out well. So the first one, write down all your skill sets. Can we all quickly do this? Maybe if you have a pen or paper, or if you can just if you're using laptops, if you can tab into another notepad or a Word document, blank sheet, maybe you can quickly write your skills. This could be your skill set in a professional environment. Say you're good at Microsoft Excel, you're good at preparing presentations, you're good at developing designs or anything. Or it could also mean your strengths as an individual. I am, say for example, I am a self-driven person. I'm a self-motivated person. I don't really need anybody to push me from the back to do something. I can do something on my own. So it could be anything related to your strength, your beliefs, or your skill set. So write these down. So that's step number one. Okay. You can parallelly try doing it so that you at least get these bunch of sentences together so that you can juggle around and finally build your own brand statement. The next one is figure out who you love to do these things for. I'll take the same example. If you are a marketing specialist, if you are a person who builds strategy on marketing, and you're looking out for a company who needs people to build a marketing strategy for them, who is your audience and who are you targeting to reach out to? So, and who you want to do these for? Say you want to do it for organizations which work towards service to customers, or reaching out to customers where they try to serve them at the same time, work towards business goals and so on. So figure out who you want to do this for. At this point of time, you can just simply put it as organizations. If it is any company that you want to be with, just say organizations, companies which have good goals, which have great goals, or things like that. The next thing is listen to what everyone else is saying. Sometimes, like I already told you, we may be really good at something, but unless somebody tells it to us, we wouldn't know that we're good at this, right? So start hearing from people. Ask people, hey, what do you think I'm good at? Ask people who know you well. It could be your lecturers, your well-wishers, your friends, or if you've worked in organizations, or if there are people who come with experience, maybe you can talk to your network, your reporting managers, your professional circle, anybody. Start hearing from them, ask them what they think is a trait or is a strength of yours, and you can start noting that down as well. And the next one is, what do you do differently? Like we have a whole bunch of people who develop marketing strategy. We have a whole bunch of people who can design websites, but what makes you different from them? It could be about how quickly you do it, or how beautifully you do it, or it could be how perfectly you do it, which doesn't need a lot of review or multiple meetings or discussions to review it, refine it, and so on. Maybe you're a perfectionist, you can do it perfectly at one shot. So what makes you different as a web designer, or as a marketing specialist, or as a product manager? What do you do differently? So start writing down something that makes you unique in achieving these goals or skills. Next thing is, who's your target audience? We've spoken about this, right? Who do you want to do this for, and whom are you trying to reach out to? It could be hiring managers if you are looking to build a career. We're working for organizations, or it could be clienteles or client base that you're reaching out to so that you could build your customer base. Or it could be anybody, or it could be say you're choosing the profession of a lecturer or a teacher. It could be, if you're a freelance trainer, it could be students, it could be people who want to be trained. These are your target audience, right? So choose your target audience. Next thing, put it together in a few sentences. Say, for example, I do this and I want to do it for these people. And I also do it like this, say I form one sentence now. I'll take my own example. I am a process excellence manager. I want to work for organizations that work towards continual improvement and have service oriented goals. And I also want to do it for, and what makes me different is how quickly I do it and how perfectly I do it. So this could be a very simple, basic brand statement, and you can refine it further. Okay, you put it together in a few sentences and add adjectives and simplify it. Like I just mentioned, I'm a fast worker. I do things quickly. I decide quickly. I do it perfectly. I do it right the first time. So these are some of the adjectives that you can add and then simplify your statement. And then the final thing is make people want more. You leave a little mystery in your brand statement so that people become curious. They want to know more what this person is up to, what this person believes in, what does he want to achieve. So these are the kind of things that leave a little trigger to the customers to know more. So make people want more when you're talking about yourself. So sometimes you may possess skills which are different and unique, and sometimes these may be common skills, but a combination of these skills also makes you different. If you're holding if you're a person who's a product manager who builds softwares for customers, and you also hold a good marketing experience, the combination of these two come in handy. That also sometimes makes people unique. If organizations have people who hold two different who have subject matter expertise in two different areas, it comes in very handy for them. That also makes you unique. So that could also be one unique factor that you could add to your brand statements. So maybe you can take a quick screenshot of this exercise and try working on your personal brand statements by following these steps. You, at least if you don't have your final statement, you will have something in your hand which can further be built or refined so that you can start talking to people through your personal brand statements. So now it's been a lot of talking, but we were going to look at some good examples of self branding. Okay, so let's try and guess what kind of work that these people are doing by reading their brand statement. Okay, sometimes it's very simple, sometimes it's a bunch of sentences, but let's try looking at. So what do you think Jessica Jones does? She says her brand statement is brand designer for wonderful companies. So what can you understand from this statement? Anybody can try. There's no right or wrong. Everything is right.
Is branding for top leading companies.
Brilliant. So the message is conveyed, right? So if I am a hiring manager, I'm looking for a brand designer who wants to work for good companies, then I would quickly at least probe into Jessica Jones' profile, identify what she's doing, what kind of work she's saying. And sometimes it also gives a very a different view of who she is as a personality when you're talking about a brand designer for wonderful companies. She has her own definition of what wonderful means. So let's look at another one. You don't blend in, we make it obvious. Merciless one-liners, conversational copy, and creative strategy. So this is another person who's also has the name is Jessica, and this is her brand statement. What do you think? What kind of business do you think she's in, or what is her goal? What do you understand from her brand statement? Any guess? There's no right or wrong.
It's probably a marketing company.
Yes, it is a marketing company. To be more specific, somebody like a content writer, because she's saying merciless one-liners, she's saying conversational copy, somebody like a copywriting business, somebody like a marketing strategy, something like that. Okay. But this does leave a curiosity to understand who she is. Look at the first sentence. You don't blend in, we make it obvious. So it means that she's saying that if you choose her as your marketing strategist, she'll make you stand out. She'll make it obvious. She'll make sure that you don't blend in with the others. So this is a very very strong brand statement. Let's look at another one. Every day I wake up with one goal in mind. How can I help other people travel better for less? It's my mission to help travelers like you realize your travel dreams. So what do you think Matt does?
Something related to tourism.
Tourism, yes, right. So his brand statement clearly says that he's a travel agent or owns his own travel business, or he works for any big traveling company where he ensures that traveling dream. So many of the aspects that we spoke about are really present in this statement because he knows his target audience. He's saying anybody, any traveler to realize their travel dreams. He's also giving it in his brand statement saying that they get what they want, and he's ensuring that this is part of his brand statement, right? Another one, saving the world from bad content. B2B content strategy that's built for humans, generates qualified leads, and scales over time. What do you think this is? What kind of business do you think Aaron is involved in? Take a guess. Sorry?
Search engine optimization.
I didn't get that. Sorry. Can you repeat it?
Search engine optimization.
Okay, maybe. Yes. So content is your clue word. They're probably a content writing company or a content writing person. So it clearly says that he's actually promising something from his statement. He's saying he will generate qualified leads and he will also ensure that this gets scaled up later on, right? So this is also one brand statement which passes a lot of message. So these are some very famous examples that I picked up from the internet, okay? And these could be something that you could learn from on how you should build your own brand statements. And because most of you are students right now, and some of you come from personal experiences, these brand statements may not be as fancy or as strong as some of these brand statements are, but you can start working on it. This is a good time to begin, and you can start listing down your skills, your areas of expertise, and you can start building your professional image out in the world. I've just pulled in some more examples, maybe we can start reading them. So there's somebody called Daryl Franklin, and he says, innovation is in my blood. I seek to find ways to adapt when needed and disrupt when possible. For the past 15 plus years, I have been at the forefront of digital evolution and transformation as an intrepid business strategist, thought leader, functional operator, and called on to develop solutions and technologies that have enabled stronger customer engagement, retention, and loyalty. So there's so much, okay, this because of the kind of experience that he's coming from, or because of the kind of work that he's done, he has a lot to say. And there is no limit to how big or small your brand statement needs to be, as long as it is very meaningful and gives the right message to the people that you are targeting. It doesn't really matter how big or how small your brand statement is. Sometimes your brand statements can be as simple as, we've just seen brand designer for wonderful companies. It's very simple, but message conveyed. One more example. Does anybody want to maybe read this? Anybody nominate yourself and read this one?
Yes, ma'am, I'll do that.
Yes, Shweta.
I'm very passionate about one thing: teaching people, entrepreneurs, marketers, etc., how to achieve rockstar result with their social media, especially Twitter. And I inspire them to take action and just do it. I achieve this by developing strategies that work. My motto is work smarter, not harder. I live by this and teach it to others every day.
Yes. So do you like this brand statement, Shweta?
Yes, ma'am. It's very different actually. Like,
very different.
Use the Nike quote also, just do it.
Yes. So she simply says that she will help you build your brand. She's a digital marketing expert, and look at the kind of. So if we were to take a list of her skill sets from this sentence, there would be so much. You could just say she teaches people. She achieves rockstar results, which means she's very focused, very ambitious, and she's achieved results before. And she works on social media, Twitter, and she inspires people. That is a very, very strong trait. And she develops strategy. So much you could pick from these bunch of sentences, right? One more example. Anybody else? Anybody else wants to read?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, go on.
I've run an Emmy Award winning motion design of brand consultancy for over 23 years. Now I teach the world how to value themselves and communicate their value to others through open platforms like YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
Right. So this is another different type of brand statement. He says he's run an Emmy Award winning motion design, which means while he's talking about who he is as a brand designer, he's also saying that he's been recognized by Emmy Award. And Emmy Award is something that everybody knows around the world, right? So when you talk about an award winning, recognized, when you use words like that, it adds more value because there's a third party who has validated your skill set, right? One more example. Anybody else?
I teach people how to use unconventional strategies to land jobs they love in today's market without connections, without traditional experience, and without applying online.
So Arvind, who do you think he is? What do you think he does?
He is a marketing specialist.
Could be a marketing specialist, but he's also talking about landing jobs. So
job consultant,
right? So he's a job consultant, and look at the choice of words. He says he's not a traditional person who uses traditional ways of applying to a job. He'll help you find the right job, and that is what makes him unique, right? One more example. Anybody else? Not the same people. Anybody else?
Can I read?
Yes.
I'm the Mary Poppins of CX or UX. I fly in, find the true problems, improve everything I can, make the magic happen, sing a few songs, and fly away to the next project. Or I can stick around. I'm dedicated to transforming companies, departments, teams, projects, products, services, and experiences by focusing on the full arc of the customer experience.
So I don't know if anybody has watched the Mary Poppins movie. If you watch the movie, you will understand who Mary Poppins is, okay? And she's a woman who's gone through all stages of her life. And so when she says, I'm the Mary Poppins of CX and UX, you can understand what she means, right? She's saying, I know everything when you're talking about user interface designing or whatever it is. She says, I know everything. And she says, I fly in, find the true problems, improve everything I can, make the magic happen. And very beautifully and fancily put across what she does, and in a very different manner, and people who read this would definitely be curious to know what she does and would want to interact with her. So I have a few more examples, I think one or two more. Anybody else who wants to read this? This is a very simple brand statement. We could pick this as an example for people who are doing this for the first time. Anybody else? Okay, I'll read it myself. About me, I was awarded the title Top Graduating HR Student at my college for my leadership and passion for the field. After I spent hundreds of hours networking on my LinkedIn, I was sourced by a Google recruiter, and now I sit on their staffing team. When I'm not advocating for exceptional candidate experience or teaching my coworkers the ins and outs of LinkedIn, I'm on LinkedIn sharing my professional insight in my home office, making lightweight clay earrings or watering my plants. So to her professional brand statement, she's also added one other feature where she's talking about her her interest or her hobby on what she does. She says she shares professional insight on LinkedIn, and she also does some lightweight clay earrings, or she waters plants. She's interested in planting and so on. So this is another very simple, unique way of writing a brand statement. We'll take one last example. I'm a modern, fearless, digitally driven, and globally savvy brand business leader with over 15 years of experience representing two of the most exciting, influential consumer brands in the world. I look for opportunities to deliver game-changing digital and physical global marketing programs that deepen consumer connections, accelerate revenue, and drive brand growth. So the combination of words used are so aggressive of how determined this person is. She says she's modern, she's fearless, she's digitally driven, and she works on game changing deliverables. So anybody who wants to build a network would use these kind of statements so that they reach out to the maximum people that they can on professional platforms. So some final thoughts. We've spoken about a lot. We've seen how brand statements have helped organizations to reach out, build their own base and network. Similarly, we've seen how brands are important. Brand statements are important for individuals who are building careers in the professional life. So whether you've built an influential personal brand already, or if you're just starting out, you can never stop growing. Okay? And now is the right time to begin. Paying attention to the guys at the top of the game is a great place to start. So this could be another way you could start. You can start talking to people who are in the similar line of work that you are, and you can see what they have as their brand statements. But what you need to ensure is that you need to make it look different. We don't want to be stealing brand statements from others. You can use that as a sample, and these are people who offer great advice to you so that you can build your brand statements in a better way. You can source through the internet. There are a hell lot of examples that you can use. So even if you've heard some of it before, it's a good idea to keep refreshing yourself and maintain focus. Like already mentioned before, it is an evolving process. You keep growing as an individual, you keep growing in your reputation, your professional space, network keeps growing, and accordingly, you need to keep hustling. Yeah. So with that, I conclude my session. It's been wonderful interacting with all of you. Thanks to everyone who has responded, asked questions, or participated in the session. With that, I hand it over to Prabha Devi ma'am and Prasida ma'am. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
இல்ல அந்த சார் இப்போ நான் அட்மிஷன் நம்பர் கேட்கறேன், அது அவங்க வந்து
Yes, ma. It's done, ma.
Yes, ma'am. Done.
Students, any questions?
So no questions either means you understood everything or you didn't understand anything.
I think the students are very much comfortable with the content, whatever you have delivered, I believe.
Yes, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. I'm very active on LinkedIn. You can connect with me on LinkedIn as well. And I can help you with your brand statements too.
Yes, Marcy, we will anyway come back to you for our students' internships and other placement-related activities, and also entrepreneurial-related activities as a startup company, right? We will come back to you with your director's support. And before winding up the session, now I call upon the student to give the vote of thanks to our guest for the session. Harini?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Knowledge shared is knowledge squared. By seeing this, we have clearly got the best industrial knowledge from our speaker, Ms. Mercy V. Soundarya. I take this opportunity to thank our guest for valuable time with us in sharing her key insights on self-branding and enlightening us with her thoughts. Thank you, ma'am. A big thanks to our Dean Sir, Department of Management Studies, for letting us conduct this event. I express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Prasida, Head Department of Management Studies, and to Dr. Prabhadevi, Associate Professor, Department of Management Studies, for organizing Udbhavah Setuh Bridge Course 2021 and making this session possible. Last but not the least, I would like to thank our enthusiastic freshers for their keen interest and active participation. Thank you.
Thank you, Harini. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mercy. Thank you for accepting our invite and gracing this occasion. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Bye. Students, we will wind up the session for lunch break. Yes, you people can join again at 1:30 for having one more session. I mean, 2 more sessions in the afternoon. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.